What are you at, ladies and gentlemen, Lycos here, and today I want to talk to you about Diablo Immortal and whether or not it's worth playing. Now, unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation out there on Diablo Immortal. I've seen things from people saying that the game is not pay to win at all the way to the other end of the spectrum where people are saying that there is a ton of content that's locked behind a paywall. With this video, I hope to clear up any questions that you might have about Diablo Immortal if you're thinking about playing it. I've been playing the game since launch, every day for several hours a day, so that's over 3 weeks of playing this game so far. I haven't spent any money on the game. My experience has been completely free to play, but before I get into my personal experience in the game, first off I want to address all of the people that I've seen out there that are trying to claim that this game is not pay to win. Pay to win players, especially whales, have a huge advantage. This is my current character. As I said before, I've been playing this game constantly ever since launch. I've put definitely over 100 hours into this. And I gotta say that my character is fairly powerful. I can quite effectively take on pretty much anything in the game. But definitely not this guy. This is a whale that my friend ran into in PvP the other night. And this guy's stats are insane. Now let's compare his character with my free-to-play character. We are exactly the same level and our armor and weapons are pretty much the same as well. But the biggest difference is this guy's pay-to-win legendary gems. As you can see, there is a massive stat difference. He has multiple times the damage and multiple times my health. No one can compare my free-to-play player with this whale and honestly say that this game is not pay-to-win. If I were to meet this guy in PvP, I wouldn't stand a chance. Even a person that spent a couple $100s on this game would be stomped into the ground by this guy. So yes, the game is definitely pay to win, but let's look at my entire experience and see if I had any fun in the game despite the pay to win. I didn't want to do this video as soon as this game released because I wanted to experience everything that Diablo Immortal had to offer and give it a real chance before I made my verdict on the game. And I gotta say, as a game, the actual gameplay of Diablo Immortal, I had a lot of fun. I'm still having a lot of fun with Diablo Immortal. So I played through the entire campaign. The story was okay, but not great. But really, who plays the Diablo games for the story? Certainly not me. I'm just here to kill hordes of demons and to get really cool loot. And Diablo Immortal definitely delivers on that. I played through the entire campaign and got to the endgame within a couple of days. Since then, I've played all of the endgame content. Dungeons, rifts, the raid, PvP. I've even been able to play the endgame faction war. I was actually surprised at the variety of endgame content that's in this game. Another thing that I was surprised by is that this game has a lot of MMO elements as well. A lot of the endgame content is designed so that you need to group up with other players, and I would highly recommend if you play this game for you to join a clan. The content that revolves around the clans in this game is pretty awesome. There's a lot of group content that you can do like the raid and the dungeons, but there's also the faction war. So the basics of this is that there's two different factions, the Shadows and the Immortals. The Immortals are the protectors of the world, and the Shadows are put in place to challenge the Immortals and make sure that they are worthy of their position. So the Shadow clans compete amongst themselves to see who are the best Shadow clans, and then they compete to become the next Immortal. I think it's a really cool system, but it's another thing that's highly impacted by the pay to win aspect of the game. Everyone in your clan can participate in this content in some way, but of course the more pay to win you are, the more impact you're going to have. But one good thing about this is that if your clan becomes the Immortals, everyone is an Immortal. Right from the most pay-to-win guy in your clan, all the way down to the free-to-play. From my own personal experience in the game, I had a lot of fun with Diablo Immortal. There's a large variety of content to experience, even though a lot of that content is pretty basic, it's still quite a bit of fun. I enjoyed the combat, and there is a very large amount of loot to collect and upgrade. It's just unfortunate that the legendary pay-to-win gems have such an extreme impact on player power. All in all, I personally very much enjoyed my time with Diablo, and I'm currently still playing the game. The biggest negatives for me is of course the extreme pay to win. This game would be way better if the free to play and people that are paying a more reasonable amount of money had more avenues to catch up to the whales. Now the pay to win does only affect a couple of aspects of the game, such as the PvP. If you're free to play or you're spending less than $100 in this game, you're never going to be able to compete at the very top tier in this game. And also, the game does have some technical issues as well. There are quite a few bugs that you're going to run into in this game. And for me, the worst thing was the crashes. Every single day that I played, I had at least a couple of times that my game crashed on me. Haven't run into any game-breaking bugs yet, mostly just annoyances. Now, of course, the big question is, would I recommend that you play Diablo Immortal? Well, if you're looking for a fun action RPG that you can play on your phone to kill some time, you don't care about competing in the endgame content or PvP, this can definitely be a fun casual game to play on your phone. In addition to that, if you're a huge mobile game fan that loves spending your money on silly things, I guess this is kind of the perfect game for you. But sadly, I would have a hard time recommending this game to any serious gamer. But to be completely transparent, I will probably continue to play Diablo for a little while longer. This is mostly due to the fact that I ended up joining a clan with a group that I actually really like. Because they're a good group, I really enjoy doing the endgame content with them. But these are just my opinions. Hopefully all of the information that I provided you in this video will help you make your own decision on the game. Now there's one last thing that I would like to talk about, and hopefully maybe someone out there can help me understand this. I don't understand why so many of these mobile games cater so heavily to whales, the guys that are spending an insane amount of money on their game. I understand it as a cash grab, but as a long-term monetization plan, I personally don't get it. I look at it from the perspective of companies like Walmart and Amazon. They didn't become some of the biggest companies in the world by selling Lamborghinis to rich people. It is very well known that if you cater more to the just regular people, that you can definitely make way more money that way. So I'm not sure why this doesn't translate into gaming pay to win, or why game developers are just completely overlooking this fact. If you have any sort of insight on this, please let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about Diablo Immortal. Thank you all for watching, and as always, stay where you're at, and I'll come where you're to. Later, everyone.